good morning, evening, or afternoon, whichever one's going on for you at this current point in time. Today, we're going to be restoring some headlights, so this is what you're going to need. I will be leaving a link to everything here. Again, free for you to watch, subscribe. None of this is sent to me. This is all my money, but you will be needing 800, 1,000, and 2,000 grit. Make sure, if you don't use this right here is your main focus. Make sure that whatever type of paper you get, that it is allowing for wet uses. Now, these three aside, this will last forever. You cut one of these sheets in half and you'll be able to get both your lights done. So this will last forever. Microfiber towels. You want to make sure you're able to dry your headlight, clean your headlights. And let me preface this by saying, make sure there's no bird poop, dirt, grout, anything on your car. Clean it off before you do this. You will also need a roll of paper towels. This is just a reminder, but you will need some spray bottles. Later in the video, I'm going to tell you need 15 bucks to get these. These are glass, so obviously they cost more. Go to the dollar store, get the plastic ones, $1, $2, $3. Get a couple of them and just have them all full instead of refilling the same one over and over. Now, the magic happens here. As far as taping off the area, you will need some kind of masking tape or painter's tape. I don't care what color you use. Just make sure that you're able to section off that piece so that you're not scratching your paint. This is what's going to be sealing in your headlight. Try to find ones that say UV. I'm going to try to link the one that specifically says UV, but I believe this is just the new design of that same formula. So seals, protects, revitalizes, and Meguiar's Plastex right there. Removes cloudiness, yellowing, oxidation, and fine scratches. This, we're going to see if this is nonsense or not. But all in all, microfiber towels, make sure everything is clean and you're not transferring dirt and stuff that's trapped in here from one towel to another or back to the headlight. So use one for water, one for the polish, one for drying, and one for, some other thing. Maybe you're cleaning off your hands. Make sure that you're using gloves because you don't want any fingerprints or any hand oil getting on that lamp because that's what you're going to seal in a bunch of fingerprints. So make sure everything is clear. And additionally, I don't have it here, but you could get a bottle of alcohol. So, everything dries a little faster. But again, I didn't use it. I didn't do it. So if you don't have it, it won't kill you. But again, go to the dollar store, 70%, just get $1. It is what it is. Let's do it. Now, the real reason I wanted to make this video is because you buy kits like this, you go to an auto shop, you got turtle wax and all these restoration kits, and you use them, you're like, wow, that's so bright, that's so nice, that's so clean, they're so shiny. And a month later goes by, maybe they're still clear. 3-4 months later go by, they start turning yellow, and it's because the sealing formula in here, and they actually had to update the formula because this thing just don't work. So $15, $20, $30, $40, $50, how much you're spending, you could be spending in materials to do it yourself, do it correctly, and have something significantly longer lasting. If you have to do something like this every 2-3 years, you wouldn't be as upset as doing it every 3 to 6 months. See what I mean? A little bit of this. We got to work smart, right? That's the whole point of this channel. It's working smart and not wasting your time. So let's do it. Now, really quick, there is a part that I say you need to apply 3 layers evenly. When I mean that, I mean from the right side or from the left side. Once you start spraying, one consistent pressure, one spray from left to right. From there, you're going to come down next from right to left. It really doesn't matter if you do it. Just make sure once you start, you don't stop until you get to the other side. Don't go too close. Don't let the spray paint build up in one spot because you're going to see your paint start to run or it gets a little puddly and then you got to scrape it down to make everything even. You're making more work for yourself. Nice, even, left to right, left to right, left to right. No problem. I don't care if you go from left to right or right to left. Just make sure nice, consistent sprays. That's all you want. And because as a medical assistant, I do have to say that for those of you people who can't curl your fingers, whatever, maybe you're having issues with arthritis or whatnot, this is the Comfort Grip 4 Rust-Oleum. They are specifically made for snapping. As you can see from the paint, I do use this. These have a strong spring inside, right? So you open it up with these 2 little prongs. You can stick it onto any can universally, any Rust-Oleum cans anyway. Or anything that fits into that shoulder. Make sure that the head is facing, or the spout is facing outward, and then you would pull the trigger and that little head in there acts as the plunger or acts as your finger to spray. So you get a pistol grip and you can make that nice consistent motion. It's about 12, 13 bucks at a Home Depot, but if you're having issues with, finger mobility and dexterity, it's the next best thing, especially if you have like pickup trucks or like bigger headlights. It's something to kind of save you a little bit of hand wear and tear. So it is what it is. Again, not pushing any of this products, just saying, I'm caring about you. If you happen to have hand pains or any issues with dexterity and you can't, this might help out. You can see, super hazy, not bad, right? But all these scratches and cracks, instead of replacing it, we can give it a little more time sealing it in. Meanwhile, over here, this one's way more yellow. So you need anti-UV for this. Something the oxidation is going to pierce into the plastic, and that's what's causing that yellow color. Next, you're going to put masking tape or painter's tape, anything that's gentle. You want just what's going to be sanded, exposed, and not anything that is gentle. That means your paint, you don't want to scratch that up. Even though it's going to be 800, 1000, and 2000 grit, you still want to be as gentle as possible. So we're starting off with the 800. Obviously, get a razor blade, cut what you need. You're not going to be completely sanding this whole time with this giant sheet. Also, go on Amazon, 10, 15 bucks. Just get yourself a 2-pack, 3-pack of these little squirt bottles. These are glass, so be careful if you happen to drop them. They're done. But you want the wide spray pattern, not that pointed stuff. You want wide spray. You want a mist. So wet your paper first. Keep this completely hydrated, and you're going to start scraping. If you start noticing a milky substance coming down, that's the water mixing with those plastic oxidized particles, and that's totally normal. That's what you want. So you see this right here? It looks like murky water. See that? That's totally normal. You want that. Just keep spraying, keep everything wet, but all that milky stuff is going to drip down. That's totally normal. Just don't keep passing in one spot. Smaller and smaller. If you got to cut this smaller, you want all these creases, edges, signal lights, everything, fog lights. Give yourself enough space. Fold your tape in if you need to, so you can get every angle. So after a while, you're gonna see murky water. Don't worry, this all comes off with water, but you're gonna notice it kind of gets kind of gray, kind of hollow, kind of glossed over, or glazed over, I should say. But that's totally normal. The polisher hasn't come in yet. Okay, that's what this is for. This is the polisher, cleaner, cleanser, clarifier, whatever you want to call it. That's going to come in and make this see-through, and we want to make sure the sanding is 100% done before we start polishing and sealing. So if you're happy with the result, you're going to bring this down from an 800 to 1000. You're starting to see more of the lights, but even though I changed out the lights for this person, you still can't really see through them because this headlight is long overdue for some more restoration. It's already looking much better, and this is going in 800. Now I went in with a 1000 grit. You want to do that horizontally. You can see, obviously, with gravity, water runs down. Your paint, your spray paint, is going to do the same thing. So as it's moving against the lateral lines, the paint will kind of track out laterally instead of just kind of drawing or drying the way paint naturally goes, which is dropping down. So the circular motions is fine for the 800 grit when you're just trying to take off the majority of your oxidation. But when it comes to the finer stuff, you want to kind of give it natural lines. So this headlight, for example, kind of slopes. So I'm giving it somewhat sloped lines because I want it to dry and seal in that kind of sleek motion rather than just having it look like a notebook. Remember that no lines are going to really show, especially when you go 2000 really light. It's going to look really good. All right, now that you have made this completely glaze over and you're happy with the result, you want to make sure it is completely buffed away. Obviously, this is the finished result. As far as this, you want to make sure you have several of those microfiber towels. The next one is going to be applying your actual clarifier. So let's get that one started. So now that we know the blue towel is for drying, we don't want to use that same watered down towel. You want direct microfiber, just taking in the material and slowly going through. If you have a buffer, good for you. You can use that, I guess. But if you don't, just go by hand. Just give it a little more elbow grease. So really quick, once you are happy with the way it's sanded, make sure everything is clear. Put some kind of trash bag or a tarp or something. It really doesn't matter as long as you cover your paint from the spray. I already sprayed my first layer, nothing crazy. As you can see, all these little cracks and grooves and whatnot, that is all a result of just rocks and wear and tear. Let me see if I can get it at a better angle. So yeah, this lens in particular, if she's not gonna replace it, I mean, it's on her, but at the very least, it's a lot more clear than it was, you know, before. Now, really quick, something that I am gonna do is on this side, I'm not gonna apply the polisher. The other side I did. This one, I just wanted to see directly with 800, 1000, and 2000 grit, followed by cleaning it, drying it, wiping it, painting it, to see if there's a difference between said polisher doing anything or if it's just BS. So it's up to you, your call, but we'll see the result shortly. Coming back 24 hours, and we can see much clearer, but still a little bit of that orange peel from the spray. So you're gonna come back down with your fine grit, and luckily our headlights, as you can see, are kind of wet, just, you know, overnight, but you're gonna wet it anyway. Sand it down 2, 3, 4,000 grit, whatever you happen to have. So this is on the other side. You just saw the other side, but grab your water sprayer or your water bottle, whatever you got, and you see with 2000 grit, nice and clear, right? So get to it, finish it off, let it dry. Again, not too hard, not too abrasive, because remember, you don't want to take the spray paint back off, but just enough to look nice and clear, and you're all set. Now with a little bit of love and convincing, you can see nice and clear. Unfortunately, all of these small micro cracks and stuff like that, there's nothing you can do about it. Just in the future, if it does get too bad, it would have to be replaced. But in the meantime, significantly more visibility, and this is the perfect time to adjust your headlights if they need to be calibrated up or down. You don't want to be blinding people. People like this with lighthouses attached to the front of their car, they're dangerous. When you're turning and you're blind, somebody walks into the street or somebody's crossing or whatever, or another car, you can't see them because you're blind. Be more considerate of other people. But high beams, low beams, fog lights, you want everything nice and clear. I'm going to show you the other side really quick. And the other side, because there's not as much cracks or damage, you can see this one looks significantly better. Again, same thing, fog light, signal light, high beam, low beam. This is what you want, nice and clear. We're getting into the fall season, and eventually fall and winter become super dark late at night, especially in the colder places like here. We start getting dark around 3, 4, 5 p.m. So definitely we want our headlights nice and clear, just enough to see the road, not enough to blind each other. Now the absolute last step, as you can see all these white streaks, I sprayed off the majority of them. Use whatever power sprayer you got. Just be very, very gentle. Don't hit the lights directly for a little while, just to make sure everything is cured up as far as your paint. This is 600 psi. Again, you're not hitting the actual bulb, you're just hitting the body. Be considerate, and if you're doing this with somebody else, just, you know, keep their car clean. If they brought it to you clean, bring it back clean. And if they didn't, then still bring it back clean. It shows a lot about you. And that is how we get it done. Now, I will say 2 things before I send you on your way. That is that, 1, I did take those after photos at like 9 something in the morning. Sun was directly overhead, so it doesn't look as bright as it should. However, they are significantly brighter. That's 1. 2, I am kicking myself for not taking a before shot of how the lights were to after, so I can show you the actual difference in visibility. Again, still kicking myself, but there's no point in crying over spilled milk. It is done. So have a great day. Keep being you, unless you're a murderer or some other maniac. And stay safe on the road. Stop blinding people. Just use the light that you need, not the lights that look pretty. That's cool if you want to be in the backwoods somewhere rural and you're hunting deer or something at night. Cool. You don't need super mega LED bars and ridiculous stuff in the middle of a city or something. you're just going to get somebody killed or hurt or hit by a car because you're blinding other people. So please be safe out there and work smart.